So those of you that know me know that I pretty much gave up on my marriage. And I said I was done, and I even kind of stepped out and ventured out into talking to other people and all this. And the cliche is the grass greener? Man, it is not. Yeah, there ain't nothing out there. There's just not. I mean, stay home, stay where you're at, make your family work.
After leaving for what she believed was a better option, she eventually realized she was wrong and ended up regretting her decision. Now she wants to warn other women so they don't make the same mistake.
Ask a man what he thinks a good woman is, and watch him describe a maid.
This is just another simp with a platform doing what they usually do best. Anyone who makes that kind of point clearly doesn't understand how relationships actually work. What does he think a woman would say if she were asked to describe a good man? I bet he wouldn't even want to have that conversation, because deep down, he knows the answer. She would describe a father, a personal security guard, and in some cases, even an ATM. As I mentioned earlier, only those who are unaware of the fact that in relationships, we are supposed to take care of each other would ever bring this up. I'm pretty sure he also knows it, but we all know how simps operate. They say and do certain things just to be liked. It's just a strategy to gain favor, but most of the time, it doesn't even work.
If you could give a single girl some dating advice, what would you say to her?
How old?
Let's say she's like 21.
Oh, 21. Just bang them all. Bang them all, because men are so immature that you're not gonna lock anyone down. Don't even start thinking yet about the husband stuff. But I will say, bang dudes quietly. Don't tell everybody. Shut the about it. Just go do your business. Bang girls, bang guys, bang dogs, trans, whatever you want. But keep an eye out for the good ones in your college.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, keep the solid dudes in your back pocket. Like, befriend them, but don't them or date them or nothing until you're kind of like older and you're ready to like settle down with a boy.
Yeah.
And then call that guy up, like that one you had your eyes on, and they'll be like, "What's up, dude?"
I was shocked by that advice. I don't know how it could help anyone, especially women who, in my opinion, shouldn't waste their time giving their energy to just everybody. I don't know why, but it seems like those giving this type of advice to the younger generation don't have their best interest, because most likely they wouldn't tell their daughter or other relatives the same thing. And this is what makes this type of scene interesting.
So those of you that know me know that I pretty much gave up on my marriage. And I said I was done, and I even kind of stepped out and ventured out into talking to other people and all this. And the cliche is the grass greener? Man, it is not. Can I just tell you that I feel like in general social media has ruined dating, for the simple fact that if I do something that you disapprove of or that hurts your feelings or you don't like, there's probably 10 other women in your inbox waiting to be spoken to. And 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to reach out because you're angry, upset, bored, don't feel worthy, respected, all those things. And so for me, it's just, I almost want to get off of social media just so my husband doesn't have to worry about things like that. But, just know this, that I will be staying put. And I will be fighting for what I promised to God. Because, there ain't nothing out there. There's just not. I mean, stay home, stay where you're at, make your family work. That's all I got to say for today on this glorious Sunday. Ciao.
At least she owned it, and that alone puts her a step ahead of most. She understands that the only reason she lost a good marriage was because she was misled by social media and the illusion of endless options that often comes with it. But unfortunately, this is a common issue in our dating scene today. Many women are getting confused by the constant stream of free attention and validation they receive online, which creates an unrealistic perception of their dating prospects. As a result, they often end up walking away from genuinely good men. The good thing about her case is that she's now using her experience to warn others about the same mistake. She genuinely wants to help as many women as possible avoid losing a good marriage the way she did. She thought the grass was greener, only to find out it was actually gray after re-entering the dating world. That's when she realized leaving was a huge mistake, because things weren't nearly as good as she had imagined.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, like, you gotta let your girlfriend control you so the relationship can work. For me, like, that's the only way this shit gonna work. That's what I learned, at least. I don't know.
The best thing I like about simps, or guys who lack knowledge when it comes to this subject, is that they give us content we can actually learn from, especially when it comes to understanding what not to do. In this case, we can see he believes that for the relationship to work, she needs to be in control of everything, but little does he know, that's actually one of the fastest ways to lose her attraction. I won't say this applies to all women, but I'm pretty sure that around 99% wouldn't be able to truly love and respect a man who puts them in that position. Most women want to be with a guy they see as strong and capable of taking care of their family, and his message is the opposite of it. So what he said, only going to take any relationship in one direction, and that's straight to the end. This is it. What's interesting is that so many women supported his message, and that's exactly how they fool simps, because these are the same guys they end up losing attraction to the moment they start dating them.
Should men have a say in abortion?
Of course, yes.
Why?
Do you agree husbands and wife are partners?
Yeah, they're partners.
So, if we are partners, forming a child biologically is a joint effort. Do you agree?
Okay, yeah.
So, if we have a joint account, does that imply that you have a say in that money and I also have a say?
First off, I think it is highly disrespectful
Please, answer me.
to call a woman's body to relate it to an account.
I'm trying
Let's
to...
start with that. And also, I think it's a flawed argument to only relate abortion or pregnancy in the concept of marriage.
Okay, so I'm just going to say this real quick.
Because it happens outside of
I'll
it
say
as
this
well.
real quick while you continue.
Okay.
What makes a conversation more educative is that when someone is talking, you want to get what the person is really saying.
The thing now I'm saying is, even in that conversation, we correct certain terms that are used. Even if you are making an example, let us be sensitive about it.
Can you at least just answer me? So listen to my nonsense.
No, I don't agree. You cannot relate a woman's body to an account, no.
Then I don't think we have anything to say.
You can use another example. You can use something else to relay your message, but then liking a woman's body to a bank account, a joint bank account, that's very demeaning. He wouldn't call a man's body a joint bank account. So why do that to a woman? I know people might say, oh, you're doing too much, it's not that deep, but it is very deep.
The baby inside of you was put in there by me. The only reason I feel like you can do an abortion is if it's at the expense of your life. That's the only reason that I can take and that I feel like is sensible. Originally, when God...
The only reason she thought he was comparing women to a bank account is because she was listening to argue, not to understand, and this is how she completely missed his point. She didn't realize that the bank account analogy had nothing to do with the woman herself, but everything to do with the child. And that was the key part she overlooked. I'm sure she'll later claim that he was intimidated and couldn't handle a strong woman, which is why he walked away, without realizing that he stopped engaging simply because she was difficult to talk to. Now imagine what it's like to be in a relationship with someone who has that mindset. It clearly wouldn't be easy, and based on that short clip, it's obvious she's more likely to stay single for a long time, because there aren't many men willing to engage in a relationship with someone who can't communicate in a healthy way.
Also, I know myself, and I hate to say this, but I will talk down on a man that make less than me. So I choose not to lower that. I want somebody to make over than I make, so
this is her problem, and no one else's. This is what happens when people start valuing money above everything else. She would have never developed this mindset if a man's income wasn't what she used to determine how much respect he deserves, and that's something she'll have to work through on her own. Why does a man need to have money just to be respected? Now I can't help but wonder if this mindset applies only to men, or if she also carries the same attitude into her friendships. But one thing is certain, unless she changes her approach, things aren't going to get any easier, particularly in relationships.
Get away from her! Get away from her! Hey! Get off of her!
How do you figure more ducks get made?
Stop it!
She won't let anyone mistreat women, not even a duck.
God damn it, get us a net! Is everybody just standing around?
I think some people are taking things way too far, and honestly, It's getting out of control. Disturbing the peace of animals just because you haven't worked on yourself is insane. Those ducks have absolutely nothing to do with the choices you've made or the relationship struggles you've been through, so they should be left alone.
Why is it that there are so many girls who are hot and successful, but they're still single? I read every dating book under the sun. This is what they said. The first reason they're single is because of something called hypergamy. That means we tend to want to date up, which means women tend to want to date a guy who's got more money and social status than her. This doesn't make women shallow, this is just evolutionary. So as you can imagine, if a woman is already making 6 figures and super attractive, the chances of her finding a man who is even more career successful and makes more money and has more social status and meets her high standards is going to be extremely slim. The second reason is because most women who are super career driven lead with their masculine energy, because it's what's got them career success.
Most points she made are valid, especially when she mentioned that hypergamy is keeping successful women single. But this is something they'll need to address if they genuinely want a chance at finding love. Because the reality is that it's not easy to find a man in a certain tax bracket who's both single and willing to date them. That's just a fact. I know most women prefer to date someone who earns more than they do, but at some point, they'll have to reconsider that requirement, because there simply aren't enough men at that level for every successful woman.